All right. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to part 3 of my X-Men Omnibus reading order. So the focus of this has been Uncanny X-Men and adjectiveless X-Men. I will have separate videos for things like X-Factor, New Mutants, Wolverine solo series, X-Force, Excalibur, things like that. So we left off with the X-Men Shattershot hardcover, and now we will be looking at that continuation. So after the Shattershot hardcover, you guys would be going to the X-Men Fatal Attractions. Well, this says hardcover because there used to just be a hardcover, but now there is officially an omnibus for Fatal Attractions. So this collects Uncanny X-Men 298 to 305, and then 315 in annual 17. So I know there's a bit of a gap there, but don't worry, these will be, it'll get filled in. X Factor 87 to 92. This is the first time X-Men Unlimited, which was like an annual series. I think 4 issues a year would come out quarterly. So this collects X-Men Unlimited 1 and 2. X-Force 25, Adjectiveless X-Men 25, Wolverine 75, and Excalibur 71. After that, you would need to pick up this. This is an oversized hardcover called The Wedding of Cyclops and Phoenix. Not sure if you can still find that. I found mine on Amazon a couple years ago. They might still have them, I don't know. That collects Adjectiveless X-Men 26 through 35, Avengers 368 to 369, West Coast Avengers 101, Uncanny X-Men 307 to 310, Cable 6 through 8, X-Men Unlimited 3, Uncanny X-Men Annual 18, X-Men The Wedding Album, What If number 60, The Adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix 1 through 4, and material from Marvel Valentine's Special. Then you're going to jump to the Phalanx oversized hardcover. This is not an omnibus oversized hardcover. This is definitely out of print. The Phalanx Covenant hardcover collects Uncanny X-Men 306, 311 to 314, and 316 to 317. Excalibur 78 to 82, Adjectiveless X-Men 36 to 37, X Factor 106, X-Force 38, Wolverine 85, and Cable number 16. And then we go to the Legion Quest oversized hardcover, of course. Legion Quest oversized hardcover collects Uncanny X-Men 313 to 322, X-Men 38 to 41. That's Adjectiveless X-Men 38 to 41. X-Men Unlimited 4 to 7. X-Men Annual number 3. X Factor 107 to 109. And Cable number 20. So if you're reading these in order, you will have to read Fatal Attractions to get you to 305. Then you'll have to jump down to the Phalanx Covenant to read 306. Then you'll have to jump to the Wedding of Cyclops and Phoenix hardcover to read 307 to 310. Then back down to the Phalanx Covenant to read 311 to 314. Then back to Fatal Attractions hardcover to read 315, then back down to the Phalanx Covenant to read 316 to 317. Then you can go to Legion Quest to read 318 to 321. Like, what the heck, guys? Okay, so if you have these 4, you will get from 298 to 321 without interruption. You might be doing some gymnastics here, going from book to book constantly, but at least you will have that whole chunk of Uncanny X-Men. All right, now let's look at X-Men. You'll have issues 25 all the way to 41 without having to switch around. So these will be in order. So 25 in Fatal Attractions, 26 to 35 in Cyclops and Phoenix, 36 to 37 in Phalanx Covenant, and then 38 to 41 in Legion Quest. So at least that one you won't be jumping around too much. All right, so at this point, we all know what happens with Legion Quest. That takes us into the Age of Apocalypse, which I have marked right here. I will do a separate reading order for that at a later time. So that will mean you'll have to pick up X-Men Road to Onslaught Omnibus Volume 1. So this collects X-Men Prime number 1, Uncanny X-Men 322 to 328, and Annual 95, which means 1995. Then we've got Adjectiveless X-Men 42 to 47 and Annual 95. X-Men Unlimited 8 and 9. Sabretooth Special number 1. Wolverine and Gambit's Victims numbers 1 through 4. And Starjammers 1 through 4. Now, there would be a gap here. Road to Onslaught Omnibus Volume 1 to Onslaught. But there is an upcoming X-Men Road to Onslaught Volume 2 Omnibus. This Road to Onslaught Volume 2 Omnibus will solve that problem. And I do know what's going to be in it. Road to Onslaught Omnibus Volume 2. And I will fill this out when I go to post it on Instagram. This will collect X-Men, Adjectiveless X-Men, 48 to 52, Uncanny X-Men, 329 to 332, and then it'll also collect all of these little tiny stories. So we've got Archangel 1, X-Men Brood 1 and 2, X-Men Clandestine 1 and 2, X-Men Unlimited 10, Wolverine 101, Storm 1 through 4, The Further Adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix 1 through 4, Rise of Apocalypse 1 through 4, Fantastic 419, and Xavier Institute Alumni Yearbook 1. So that's what that will collect. So don't worry, all of this will be bridged, and we still got a complete run so far as of February 2026. So don't worry. Now, after that, Volume 2, Road to Onslaught, we do have an X-Men Avengers Onslaught Omnibus. But that omnibus collects Cable 32 to 36, Uncanny X-Men 333 to 337, X-Force 55 and 57 to 58, X-Man 15 through 19, Adjectiveless X-Men 53 to 57 and Annual 1996, X-Men Unlimited 11, Onslaught X-Men, which is just a standalone comic, Avengers 401 to 402, Fantastic Four 415, Incredible Hulk 444 to 445, Wolverine 104 to 105, X-Factor 125 to 126, Amazing Spider-Man 415, Green Goblin 12, Spider-Man 72, Iron Man 332, Punisher 11, Thor 502, Onslaught Marvel Universe, Onslaught Epilogue, X-Men Road to Onslaught, and material from Excalibur number 100, and Fantastic Four 416. Now, there is an upcoming book. It will be released July 8th. I've already got the information filled in here. This is X-Men Onslaught Aftermath Omnibus. So this will collect Uncanny X-Men 338 to 350, the -1 issue, and annuals 1996 and 1997. Adjectiveless X-Men 58 to 64 and annual 1997. X-Men Unlimited 12 to 15, Magneto 1 through 4, XSE 1 through 4, X Factor 130, Juggernaut number 1, Beast 1 through 3, Psylocke and Archangel Crimson Dawn 1 through 4. Love that. Gambit 1 through 4. And material from Marvel Holiday Special number 1 and Marvel Valentine Special number 1. So, if you're keeping track, we can get from Uncanny X-Men 298 all the way to Uncanny X-Men 350 once this comes out March or February of 2026. So we are on the cusp of having every Uncanny X-Men issue from 1 to 350 in an unbroken line that is available in oversized hardcover / omnibus. Never in my lifetime did I think that we'd be at this point. If you are a fan of X-Men, this is definitely a cool thing. I do have something else for this video. Now this is where it gets broken. So there is a gap here. Operation Zero Tolerance, which is this. This is a oversized hardcover, Operation Zero Tolerance. That covers Generation X 26 to 31, X-Force 67 to 70, Adjectiveless X-Men 65 to 70, Uncanny X-Men 346, Wolverine 115 to 118, Cable 45 to 47, and X-Man number 30. So we can get all the way to Adjectiveless X-Men issue 70. This X-Men 346 will have already been collected in the upcoming Onslaught Aftermath Omnibus that comes out July 8th of 2025. So we can get all the way to issue 70 in Adjectiveless X-Men. Now here is where there is a gap because they just have not focused too much on the late 90s. But they have released this. This is X-Men vs. Apocalypse, the 12. This is an omnibus. And this collects Uncanny X-Men 371 to 380 and annual 1999. X-Men 91 to 93 and 95 to 99, and also annual 1999. X-Men Unlimited 25 to 26, Cable 71 to 78, Gambit 8 and 9, Astonishing X-Men 1 through 3, Wolverine 145 to 149, X-Man 59 to 60, X-51 number 8, X-Force 101, Marvel Authentics, Astonishing X-Men number 1, and material from X-Men 94 and X-Men Unlimited 24. So there is a gap from 351 to 370. So I got to imagine they're going to bridge that. I don't know if they'll re-release this Zero Tolerance hardcover. My guess is they'll probably transfer this to omnibus format. So they'll probably do like a 2-volume type of thing. There will probably be 2 omnibuses. One to replace Zero Tolerance hardcover, and then another one that'll fit right here to bridge the gap between issues 350 and 371. So I just wanted to include this X-Men vs. Apocalypse the 12 omnibus because people might not realize that it exists. I mean, that's been years since this has been released, so I'm not sure if this is still available to buy. Might be out of stock, but I wanted to make you aware of it at least. So yeah, pretty cool. So that kind of ends our X-Men reading order in omnibus or oversized hardcover format. Who would have thought that we would be at this point in our omnibus collections? Pretty impressive. All right, guys, that is all for me. If you have enjoyed this, please give it a like and subscribe. Also, check me out on Instagram. That's where I'm going to be posting this updated list that you can print out, on your own if you want like a checklist for your own collecting purposes. It's nice to kind of have it all written out that you can look at on a page. It's like, okay, this is it. And you can kind of follow along. That's why I color coded it. Hopefully you guys find that helpful. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a good day.